Welcome to some history in the making. I am Hardeep Singh Kohli, and this is the all-singing, all-dancing launch of Loud Like Love, the incredible new album from Placebo. This is Loud Like Love TV, the first ever live global show produced, created and streamed live by a band, but not just any band, no, the band. Prepare yourselves for 90 minutes of musical nirvana. Never before has so much Placebo been brought together in one place at one time. With exclusive live performances from the new album, interviews with the band and their collaborators, special behind-the-scenes footage, competitions, and 4 super fans are standing by in a Google Hangout waiting to chat to the boys. And as if that wasn't enough, there's more. YouTube star Dan Howell will be reading out your live social messages direct to the band. We have everything any fan could hope to see, every me and every you. To kick off the show with the phenomenal Loud Like Love, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Placebo.
Send me a sign, let me know. Give me a time, a place I should go. Reach inside, watch me grow. See me rise. Scene of the crime, star of the show. If you were mine, then we would know. The peace of mind, seeds that we sow are intertwined. We almost made it, but making it is overrated. Scene of the crime, friend or foe. I've got a body to hide, you've got a body on show. With our bodies entwined, we will know paradise. Scene of the crime, go with the flow. Take it fast, take it slow. Stay blind so I don't know what's right. Our breath evaporates before our eyes. The ground beneath that shakes under our weight. We almost made it, making it is overrated. 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 Scene of the crime. Scene of the crime. Scene of the crime. Scene of the crime. Scene of the crime.
Well, 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 that is Placebo, Scene of the Crime, my favourite track off the album, preceded by Lie Like Love. And I'm not sure there's another band in the world that sounds as distinctive as Placebo. Talking of which, I see three good-looking men. Way! How are you? How are you? How are you? Wow. Lovely, lovely. Lovely live performance type sweat. Brian, this has never been done before, this notion of a live stream. How long has it been in the planning?
It's been about a year in the planning. I wish we could actually take credit for it, but we can't really. You know, there's a couple of young upstarts at the management company who dreamed up this idea, you know, so we've got to give them credit.
It's quite an event. I was in rehearsals earlier in the week, Steph, and there was such an amazing vibe. It felt kind of nervous and excited and everything.
Yeah, I think we shook the foundations of this building. I don't think they were ready for a band quite that loud.
And we made a few enemies in the process.
Well,
so
I
we'd
think
like
it's
to
important
yeah.
one's defined by one's enemies rather than
Indeed.
one's friends. Now, Steve, I know that you're really in touch with the kind of global fan base. How does it feel to actually pull them all together? Not just 30, 40, 50,000, but millions all watching at the same time.
It's amazing. It's sort of, you know, you can't get your head around it fully, but, you know, we really hope that everyone's enjoying themselves, you know.
Yeah, and you really are this good looking. Now, talking to fans, we've created a very special Placebo social world to help you, the fans, interact with us live through the show. In charge of that is a guy just stood over there. It's Dan Howell, or as some of you may know him on YouTube, Dan is not on fire!
Hello, everybody. Yes. Hi, I'm Dan, known as Dan is Not on Fire, and welcome to the Placebo social world. Now, as someone who is an actual massive Placebo fan and knows how to use the internet, I'm here to represent what you guys think about the show from online. So if you want this opportunity to interact directly with Brian Stevens, Stefan, then you should tweet at Placebo World using the hashtag LLLTV with anything that you might want to say about the show. I will be back with what you have to say in a couple minutes, but now Hardeep and the band are joined by some very special guests.
Yes, we are. Loud Light TV has been created to launch Placebo's 7th album. Apart from their music, from day one, absolutely the band have been associated with iconic videos. So, we pulled together two people who've collaborated on the video for the first single, Too Many Friends. I'm thrilled to welcome live from Google Hangout all the way from the City of Angels. It's the video director, Saman, and narrator, Bret Easton Ellis. Wow, there they are. Hey, look, they're nearly there. Oh, that, hey. You guys so funny. So, Saman, tell me, how did this collaboration come about?
The producer, Ross, brought up Brett, who I've been a huge fan of, and said, I think you'd be perfect. And I was like, holy crap, you're right. And so I showed up, I stalked Brett and showed up to his house naked.
He did.
Naked?
And convinced me.
Yeah.
Convinced me. But I said no at first because I'm asked to do these a lot. I'm asked to do like weird voiceovers for like videos and stuff, and I said no. And even though it was Placebo, this band that I liked, and then someone showed me the video, and I thought the video was great, and I loved the song, and so it was very easy to convince me.
Brian.
Hey, hi
was great.
guys, it's Brian here. I've got to
Hey, Brian.
Hey, I've got to have a little fanboy moment. Hi, Saman, how you doing?
Yes.
But Brett,
Hi.
I just got to say, it's such an honor for me to be in contact with you right now. I read The Rules of Attraction and Less Than Zero as a teen. They had a great impact on me. So I'm a little, I'm very, very excited to be.
Do you want me to like pass on a hug?
Yeah, go
Do you want
on.
me to
Yeah,
channel a
please.
hug?
Yeah, please.
Oh, thank you, Simone. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's so great, Brian. But anyway, I love the record and I love the song, and so it's just nice. It's nice to hear that.
Okay,
I'm a
well,
fan too.
we're coming to LA in October, so we'll come knocking.
LA
I wanna
and, of
see you.
course, all over the world. Guys, thank you so much. Now, we've got something very special for you. Here is a behind-the-scenes film made of the making of the video, Too Many Friends. Stay tuned, because the band, that's these three here, will be performing the track live for you in just a couple of minutes.
We're in California on set, on location for a video shoot. The video takes place over a short space of time. I think it's just a few seconds. And it's kind of examining an event from different angles at a very slow speed.
We're working with Saman, is a video director that we really admire, and he's got quite a twisted, violent edge.
My name is Saman Keshavars. I'm director of this Placebo video, Too Many Friends. We wanted to capture one moment in time, and we wanted to explore the things that happened during that one moment, like all the details. So it's basically like within 3 seconds we wanted to cover all these different things, so it gives this feeling of suspended time.
Too many friends, too many people that I'll never meet. I'll never be there for. I'll never be there for. 'Cause I'll never be there.
The song is about sort of how technology has bred alienation, how people converse person to person less and, have a virtual social life as opposed to like, a real one.
What do you think? I'm making a fucking silent movie or something? Come on, talk.
Too many friends, too many people that I'll never meet and I'll never be there for. I'll never be there for, 'cause I'll never be there. Too many friends, too many people.
Oh, they're great, those. Got two of those.
I'll never be there for. I'll never be there for. 'Cause I'll never be there. I'll never be there. I'll never be there. I'll never be there.
So in the video today, me, Brian, and Steph are going to be performing in front of a green screen and sort of on, I'm on electric drums and sort of these futuristic looking instruments. They're going to take that and then it's going to be sort of like a hologram within the video.
I play guitar in the near future, and it's going to be slightly different to the guitars that are being played today. It's digital. It's probably not made of wood. Probably got no strings, and probably plays by itself. Intuitive, I might just have to think my guitar lines and it'll play it for me. One day we probably won't be needed anymore. The world will be run by robots.
Too many friends, too many people that I'll never meet and I'll never be there for. I'll never be there for, 'cause I'll never be there. 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 My computer thinks I'm gay. I threw that piece of junk away on the Champs-Elysees as I was walking home. This is my last communique down the superhighway. All that I have left to say in a single tome. I got too many friends, too many people that I'll never meet and I'll never be there for. I'll never be there for, 'cause I'll never be there. If I could give it all away, would it come back to me someday? Like a needle in the hay, around expensive stone. But I got a reason to declaim. The applications are to blame for all my sorrow and my pain of feeling so alone. I got too many friends, too many people that I'll never meet and I'll never be there for. I'll never be there for, 'cause I'll never be there. Too many friends, too many people that I'll never meet and I'll never be there for. I'll never be there for, 'cause I'll never be there. My computer thinks I'm gay. What's the difference anyway? All the people do all day.
Yeah, cool competition, right? So whether you're just a crazy stalker or you really, really want that guitar, make sure you keep your eyes peeled for the totally non-obvious clues that will be representing Placebo songs throughout this. But now jumping back into the Placebo social world, we have some tweets from you guys. At Lauren Estelle said she's staying up all night so she can watch her Loves Placebo. At XXJennyDXX is rediscovering her inner fangirl right now. And Intuitive Cherub says, there aren't many chances to get myself happy on a Monday, usually very sad, but Placebo achieved it. And we have our first question for the band here, which is coming from at @LoveSpez, who asks, if you could choose just one of your songs to put inside a time capsule, which one would it be and why?
Ooh, Dan, you are on fire. One song, boys. What song in a time capsule?
Wow.
A new one.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna opt for Bosco, I think.
I was thinking the same.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Really?
Because I think it's the one track that sort of transcends the band's identity, you know, and can exist without the necessary context of Placebo, you know.
How interesting.
Yeah.
See, I wanted to ask you how it was in terms of the band dynamic, Steve. How do you all work together? Because you all seem to agree on that, and that's not rock and roll. You rock and roll.
We all have our different opinions about sort of, obviously music and how it's made and what we like, but we do agree on a lot of ways as well. So making the record and writing music together actually comes quite naturally to us. We do have a lot of fun doing it.
And Steph, you're one of those bands, as soon as you turn on the radio, you know it's Placebo. It's such a distinctive sound. But I wonder whether that adds extra pressure when it comes to writing this new album, because there is an expectation.
Yeah, it actually gets harder with every record. Because of the body of work that you've done, it gets harder not to repeat yourself. And there's always a self-critic whose voice gets louder and louder. But, for all the challenging weeks where you don't come up with anything, when you do break through and come up with something new, it becomes that more satisfying. And I think we've done it with this record, and I'm very proud of it.
What can I just say, as a critic sitting over here, I think it's your best album. Brian, how does a producer fit into what you guys have got going? How does he affect the sound?
Well, I think a good producer's role is to kind of gently coax the band kind of into a place where they're going to want to take risks, and because the band wants especially when you've got such a long career, the band is kind of used to sort of falling into sort of tried and tested methods, so they've got to do that. And they've got to be honest and tell you when you're repeating yourself, and sort of make it not too easy for you, and call you on your bullshit, tell you when you're being arrogant, and it's a psychological thing.
What can I just say, sir? I've spent days with you, and I haven't found you anything other than a very charming man. Now, the boys worked with Adam Noble on this album, and Steph and Brian went to meet Adam and had a wee chat with him last week.
Okay, here we are in the studio, myself and Stefan, and joining us today is Adam Noble, who produced Loud Like Love. Hi, Adam.
Hi, Brian.
All right, can you sort of describe how we sort of went about physically making the record, I suppose, starting with the time that you spent with us in the rehearsal room?
Yeah, I remember the first day that we did pre-production, and it was a bit sudden for me because I didn't know whether I was going to be working with you or not until maybe the day before. I was a little bit nervous. You've made a lot of albums and you've worked with a lot of great people, so I didn't know how you would respond to me. It was a bit of a risk that you took by coming to me, and I was really grateful that you were really open to some of the ideas that I had.
Yeah, because it can be quite a sensitive atmosphere, because it's
Absolutely,
something that's very, very close to our hearts, and then someone that we're trying to get to now is coming in, throwing in some suggestions. I mean, and that, I think for us it's very important to be very open to see what's best for the song.
It's nice when you make a breakthrough, and it's nice when you try something that I've suggested and it works. Because the other way, I just feel stupid.
Well, that's okay. I mean, I remember your catchphrase from it, from around the period, which kind of continued into the recording process, was like when we tried an idea that didn't work, you'd say, "That's okay, nobody died."
Nobody died.
That
right.
kind of became the catchphrase of the session. But I'd like to pick up on something that you mentioned earlier, is that you said you didn't really know that you were going to be working with us until like the day before that you met us in pre-production, and this sort of is very, very true, because we kind of started working on this record quite accidentally,
Absolutely,
really.
yeah, it was. It was by accident. Yeah.
In the summer of 2012, there was talk of doing a greatest hits record. So we went into
so we were
this.
just doing a few songs.
Yeah, to see what was happening, and you came recommended. Then I guess what happened was that we found that we were sort of having, you know, such a good time in the studio that Steph and I went to the coffee shop and had a little chat and sort of went, have we started making our album already? You know, what should we do? Because this is fun.
Yeah, that was the weird process that we went through as well, because this album wasn't recorded all in one session. Because previously for us, we found a producer and say, okay, let's go make the record, you know, and then go to the studio for however many months. But this one was actually made in sections of weeks.
There's maybe a slightly different production approach to the first half than there was to the second. We probably got the first half of songs absolutely right in pre-production. And when we got in the studio, I was listening to Loud Like Love the other day, the song, and it really is pretty much a live take of the band, which is nice.
For all of our youth.
Should we talk about Hold On To Me? Because
Yeah.
its gestation was kind of interesting.
Yeah, so Hold On To Me was a Brian demo for possibly your solo record. I didn't find out about this till later on, but apparently that was you and Bill trying to copy something that you hear in Umbrella by Rihanna.
Yeah, I mean, basically it's one of my favorite pop songs, and we had this very linear track, you know, which is most of Hold On To Me.
Yeah.
But we needed it to change somehow, which is the orchestral break, and we started talking about Umbrella by Rihanna and how it just changes key for like 8 bars or 4 bars, you know, right slap bang in the middle, and it never comes back. And so we went back and actually timed the first part of the song to fit exactly as long as Umbrella, and then the second half of the song in the middle 8, you know, to be, and for there to be the same amount of key change between the key of Hold On To Me and where it goes in the middle 8, that also occurs in Umbrella. So we're trying to do Umbrella with completely different instruments. One of the main differences in terms of technology for us was having access to all of these brand new music apps on our tablets and on our phones, and that was
a bit of an addiction for you at one point.
Yeah, I must admit.
Addicted to buying apps.
I spent a lot of time going through the App Store trying to find something else.
Yeah, I remember when we'd already recorded Scene of the Crime and we were mixing it. And it just felt like there was a section of the song that could be more interesting, and we created this drum break. And I don't know who plugged their iPad in first, but it really worked. And that gave us that synth that you hear in Scene of the Crime, and it's a real signature part of the song now.
So the studio itself was a really important, you know, part of this album's sound. And I mean, the reason that we went back to Rack is because we are in love with the sound of that room, what it does for drums.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a great room for drums.
First of all. And then there's this magnificent Yamaha grand piano, which features very heavily on Meds, but really features on this one, on this album.
We got addicted to the sound of that piano, and it started with Too Many Friends. That intro used to be played on the guitar. Just to change that and play it on the piano gave it so much more atmosphere.
My computer thinks I'm gay. I threw that piece of junk away.
Yeah, I remember that moment actually when we first recorded that piano intro and Brian singing, and you were like, no, we can't have this, you know, it's too naked, no, it's too much, too now. You know, and we're like, no, we love it, you know, it's got to be like this.
I was just running around screaming, total eclipse of the heart, total eclipse of the heart, total eclipse of the heart.
That piano almost sounds like a synth, it's so bright. And I think we got addicted to that piano, and I think it's on every song.
All right, thanks, Adam. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us about the process.
Thank you.
And we hope this has been illuminating and has somewhat contributed to demystifying the whole recording process for you. All right, back to the studio. This song is called A Million Little Pieces.
summer breeze through my heart. Now my mistakes are haunting me like winter came and put a freeze on my heart. I've lost the power to understand what it takes to be a man with my heart. I saw you wanted this to end. You tried your best to be a friend to my heart. But I'm leaving, that's worried now. Please no breathing, my love, understand. Whenever I was feeling wrong, I used to go and write a song from my heart. But now I fear I've lost my spark. No more glowing in the dark for my heart. So leaving, that's worried now. Please no breathing, my love, understand. 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 Can't you see I'm sick of fighting? Understand. Can't you tell I've lost my way? Understand. Look at me, there's no denying. Understand. I won't last another day. So I'm leaving. That's where we need now. Please no breathing, my love. Understand. That leaving, that's where we need now. Please no breathing, my love. Understand. All my dreaming torn in pieces. 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 Rob the bank of England and America. Rob the bank of the entire Eurozone. Rob the bank of Mexico and Canada. Rob the bank take me home. Make love, make love, make love on the bank. Make a joke out of dyslexia. Rob the bank, then pick your nose. Rob the bank, paint a picture of a swastika. Rob the bank, then take me home. But take me home. Make love, 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 and if ever I suspect that in your head you're somewhere else, or you are faking. Or maybe you don't think me at all. Ever you conspire to wound another, I will not be forsaken. You are the very hell in all its fury. If I am scorned on the bank in Luxembourg and Monaco. Rob the bank in Liechtenstein and Rome. Rob the bank at the biggest vault in Moscow. Rob the bank, then take me home. But take me home. Make love, make love, make love, make love, make love, make
Well, I thought that was amazing, but let's see what you guys thought of it on Twitter. At Evaporating Sea said, Placebo's new album is one of the most amazing things I've ever heard. I've been looking forward to Loud Like Love for so long. We have one from Framing Page JVM who says, so happy, such an influential band who never cease to create an incredible performance. And Believer Cass says, Million Little Pieces is my favorite song. It's perfection. I want to give a shout out quickly to all the people commenting on the YouTube stream. That should be to the left of me right now, unless you're on full screen, awkward. But yeah, apparently there's loads of people commenting from Venezuela and Argentina and all over the world. Still to come, we've got even more performances from the band. We are going to a Google Hangout with 4 superfans, as well as linking up with the YouTube spaces in Tokyo and LA. Keep your messages and questions for the band coming in using the hashtag LLLTV.
Now, this section of Love TV is all about the fans, and we just heard Rob the Bank. Brian, I wanted to ask you, because there's something incredible's happened with fans and Rob the Bank.
Well, yeah, the video for Rob the Bank has gone viral in Turkey because the video is kind of about sort of civil disobedience, and there's been a lot of civil unrest in Turkey, and there's a Turkish flag in which the director very cleverly put in there, and the song's kind of been appropriated by the forces of dissent in Turkey. So it's fantastic for us to sort of be able to align ourselves and show solidarity.
Wow, lovely.
For our protester friends out there in
Well,
Turkey.
the thing about Placebo fans is that they cover the globe, across every continent, every country, even Sweden. And we thought it would be amazing to repay the loyalty of some of those fans on the show tonight, even the Swedish. Thousands of you uploaded questions for the band in the hope that you might be taking part in this Google Hangout. And 4 devotees of Placebo are waiting nervously, anxiously to quiz the guys. Steph, Brian, Steve, are you ready?
Yeah,
you will
ready.
go
Yes.
on my first whistle. I'm going to go live now to Giulia Icino. Buonasera. You're in Rivoli,
Hi,
Italy.
good night.
How are
From
you?
Italy. I am very fine and very happy.
Do you have your
Yeah.
question for the band?
Yeah, my question to Placebo is, if you can go back in time at the beginning of your career, what kind of advice will you give to yourself, knowing already what will happen?
Okay.
So, if you could go back in time to the beginning of your career, what advice would you give yourself?
Is that my camera?
Yes.
Yeah, I would tell myself to shut the fuck up and just talk about music.
I think what Brian means is to shut the fudge up. Steve, what would you tell yourself? You're a baby. You've not got that far back to go.
I've actually got signed when I was 18, so it's been quite a while. Funny enough. But yeah, I would tell myself
no, it
to
hasn't really.
shut up again. I'd probably tell myself to shut up and stop taking everybody's opinions under my belt.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
Steph.
Yeah, something similar. I think I'd just tell myself it's okay to be you. You know, you don't have to live up to anyone's expectations.
I think 11 million album sales might tell you it's okay to be you, Steph. Thank you very much, Italy. Let's go now to Amber Bird in Seattle, home of coffee and Frasier. Amber, what's your question?
Heroin, too. It's pretty popular there.
Okay.
Yeah?
Heroin.
Normally, I'm the one breaking the rules. I'm not Brian Molko. Amber, fire away. And I don't mean that in an American way.
So, in an alternate world where you're all born as girls instead of boys, how do you think that would have changed your music or your path to musical success?
How interesting. So if you were girls and not boys. Well, you've played on that androgyny anyway.
Yeah,
Brian.
we did a lot of cross-dressing in the early days, So I think we probably encountered, quite a deal of prejudice. And we sought it out to a certain degree, but I think that kind of ingrained kind of sexism probably would have been, a little bit more insidious, perhaps. How it would affect our music. I mean, I think there's a really big difference between the male gaze and the female gaze when it comes to actual writing. So I think we would have had a very, very different perspective on the political when it's personal. Whew! All right.
Big answer.
How's that?
Thank you very much, Amber. Now we're off to Hamburg. Melanie Zabel, Hamburg, Germany. What would you like to ask the band, Melanie?
I would like to ask, if your doctor told you today that you only have 6 months to live, what would be on your to-do list for the upcoming months?
So, a lovely upbeat question, boys. You've got 180 days to live. What would you do?
I think it'd be spend time with the nearest and dearest, really. And just trying to continue on as kind of normal and trying to kind of say goodbye and make sure that you make peace with everyone before the time's up, I think.
Steve?
Probably do all the extreme sports and stuff that I'm not allowed to do, like bungee jumping and skydiving, and I'd probably go tell everybody that I've always wanted to tell to golf.
Okay, to fudge off is what Steve means. Brian, what would you do?
I would most definitely have as much sex as possible.
Okay. I would be available, Brian, for that 6 months. Thank you. Thanks, Melanie. Auf Wiedersehen. Now we're off to the races. Market Raisin in the UK. Rebecca Pierce. Rebecca, what's your question for Placebo?
Hello.
Oh, you and your lovely hair, Rebecca. Look at your hair. That's fantastic. What's your question?
Too many friends touches on the concept of social networking. So my question is, if you had the power, would you remove all types of social networking from today and go back to when it was like when it didn't exist?
Wow.
Ooh.
That's a
Now, this
very-
is something you and I have spoken about quite a lot this week, bro.
That's a really very good question, but the answer to that question has to be no, because I really think that it can be used as a force for good. It's not the technology itself or the computer programming itself that's the problem. It's the people that are the problem, and it's the people that have been the problem historically, since the dawn of time. I think what I would de-invent was the fucking camera phone. I think, that's because everybody's a paparazzi these days.
Yeah, ironically, everyone apart from Lady Gaga. Thank you so much, guys, for taking part. We could have done a week worth of questions from fans. Now, I promised you an array of amazing, never-before insights with the bands. Before I do that, thank you very much to everyone at Google Hangout, by the way. Now, the next clip is very special, so special that it had me quite close to tears. Steph is going to take us down a trip down memory lane. This is just lovely from, I think, The Quiet Man and the band. You may also recognise the track that follows the film.
I'm going to take you back in time for a while. More specifically to the year 1988. This was the year that the Smiths disbanded. Sinead O'Connor put out The Lion and the Cobra. This was also the year that I put this up in my local train station. It reads, bass player named Stefan Olsdahl, Swedish, 14 years old, likes heavy metal, is looking for a band. Call for more information. Can speak French and English. Lives in Bettange, close to Dipach, will be on vacation between the 15th of August to the 23rd of August. So I kind of laugh at this now, but back then it was the only way for me to find a band. But you can see that my optimism didn't really pay off, but their loss, right? Cue to 1994. This is the year that we sadly lost Kurt Cobain, but we gained a debut album by Jeff Buckley called Grace, which is absolutely amazing. It was also the year that I got this. This is a piece of paper with Brian's phone number on it. We bumped into each other by accident in a tube station in London, and I had a guitar strapped to my back. And he was playing a gig that weekend. So he said, why don't you come down? Give me a call. So he gave me this number. And lucky for me, he was in the day that I called and told him that I wanted to come down. Because back then, the only way of communicating with people, if it wasn't face-to-face, it was over the phone. A phone with a landline fixed in a home. So this piece of paper is very important to me. We started a band and we wrote songs in his front room in South London. Quite dingy, not as nice as this. We basically wrote the album as a two-piece and proceeded to have our first gig that same year as a two-piece. And digging through my archives, I found this. This is our very first set list, handwritten by Brian. So most of these songs kind of fell by the wayside. Some were re-recorded, some ended up recorded as demos and put as B-sides as well. But the only one that we continue to play to this day is this one, Teenage Angst. It was played on guitar, electric guitar, on the first album, played by Brian. But I'm going to try to replicate it. I'll try to get as close as I can.
Andy, we're Placebo, and this is Teenage Angst.
When
So that's how we played it, the rock version, as we like to call it, until we got asked more and more to do so-called unplugged sessions or acoustic sessions. So we decided to do a mellower version, a kind of more cabaret version, I suppose. And we did that on the piano. And it's one right here. And it sounded a bit like this.
One fluid gesture, like stepping back in time, trapped in amber, petrified. I'm still not satisfied.
I think it works beautifully on the piano. Going through all this old memorabilia that I have, it brought me back to the day that Brian called up and said, "Hey Steph, come over, I've got a new song." And I went to his flat and he said, "Listen to this." So he took out a bass, something quite similar to this, a Fender Jazz bass, and he started to play the song. And I fell in love with it. But throughout all the years, we've never played it with the bass being the main instrument or the leading instrument. So now going back out on the road again and still wanting to play Teenage Angst, we're doing a new version. But the new version is actually inspired by the way I heard it the very first time Brian played it for me. So here you go.
Shine the headlight straight into my eye, like the roadkill. I'm paralyzed. See through my disguise. At the drive-in double feature. Pull the lever, break the fever, say your last goodbye. Since I was born, I started to decay. Now nothing ever goes my way. One fluid gesture, like stepping back in time, trapped in amber, petrified. I'm still not satisfied. Social graces, elocution so divine. I'll stick to my needle, my favorite waste of time. Both spineless and sublime. Since I was born, I started to decay. Now nothing ever
was amazing, man. We are live across the world streaming on YouTube. That was very lovely, Steph. I want to ask you, so, I suppose some people think when you record a song, then you tour a song, and that's it, you sort of forget about it, but clearly you still have feelings for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of songs from the first album that we play still, but that is one that we still have an emotional connection to, and the one that we feel that we want to keep playing. You know?
And Brian, are there tracks that when you listen back now evoke certain memories or different memories from what you were expecting?
Well, yeah, actually, there's this one track from the very first album. I wrote it at the time. I didn't really think very much of it. It didn't really mean that much to me. And it wasn't until about 10 years later that, after much badgering, you know, we started playing it live. And that song's called I Know. And it was weird because it was like I'd sort of, it started to have a real resonance to me in my life at that very specific time. It was as if I'd written that song 10 years earlier to my future self 10 years down the line.
Well, listen, make me a deal. How about we all get back together in 10 years and see if we feel the same way about this phenomenal album. Now, Steve, you are new to the band, comparatively. You've been with the guys 5.5 years, I believe. And I just wonder what your Placebo knowledge is. Do you feel you know enough about Placebo?
Well, I certainly hope so. I've paid attention to all the stories over the years that they've told me, and before I joined, I did my homework, so hopefully we'll see.
Hopefully. There's no room for hope in this business. Should we see how well you got on with the Placebo IQ?
Welcome to the show. Let's see who's in the spotlight tonight, attempting to win the coveted title of Placebo IQ King 2013.
Can I ask our contestant to join us, please? And your name is?
Steve Forrest.
Subject?
Subject is the life and times of alternative rock band Placebo.
Would you describe your knowledge as Wikipedia-like?
Hopefully a bit above Wikipedia.
Steve, you have a stopwatch countdown to hang on to your IQ and answer questions on the life and times of alternative rock band Placebo, starting now. What is the name of Placebo's new album and when is it released?
Loud Like Love, and September 16th is the release date.
Correct.
What does the word placebo actually mean?
To please, I aim to please.
Okay, we'll give that to you. It means I will please in Latin. Which type of insect features heavily in the music video Infrared? Gonna have to move you along here.
Oh, pass.
In which European capital city did Placebo record their first album?
Dublin.
Correct. Name 3 cover versions that Placebo have recorded, either as B-sides, for a tribute album, or for a movie soundtrack.
20th Century Boy, Where Is My Mind, and Robert Plant song.
Robert Plant's song is not the name of a song. I'm
Nope,
sorry.
What is the only continent in the world Placebo are yet to play?
Africa?
Incorrect. It was Antarctica. Name the enfant terrible of French cinema who directed a pornographic promo video for Placebo's only French-language single, Protège-moi, in which the band did not appear.
Pass.
Which band does Alison Mosshart, who features on the single Meds, usually perform in?
Kills.
Correct.
Listen to this track and tell us which 2 Placebo songs it's made out of.
Oh, that's Every You, Every Me, and Bad for the Sun.
Correct. What is the highest chart position Placebo reached with a single in the official British singles charts?
5.
Incorrect. 4.
Name the rapper who performs on the song Spite and Malice from the album Black Market Music.
He's a singer for She Wants Revenge. I don't know his name.
Justin Warfield is the correct answer. Name the solo artist who wrote and recorded the original version of the Placebo cover, I've Started, So I'll Finish. The Placebo cover, Running Up That Hill.
Kate Bush.
Correct. Okay, Steve, you had 2 passes. The first correct answer was?
Ants. And the question was, which type of insect features heavily in the music video for Infrared?
And you also passed on Name the enfant terrible of French cinema who directed a pornographic video for Placebo's only French-language single, Protège-moi, in which the band did not appear. The correct answer was Gaspard Noé. Now, you scored a total of 6 correct answers. Unfortunately, this does not allow you to take the title of Placebo IQ King today.
However, we do have a consolation prize for you.
Which is a signed picture of myself and Stefan. There's another guy.
Who's that guy?
In the picture. Let's get rid of that very quickly.
Yeah, that's better. Okay.
So, how do you think you did today?
I think I did pretty well, better than I thought.
I think you should be ashamed.
Oh!
Okay, Steve, it's time to sound check.
Is that me? I should grab my coat.
Off you go.
Towards that way.
Poor Antarctica getting snubbed. Did you guys at home get better than 6? I'm guessing probably. Okay, well, I'm still crying internally after that slow version of Teenage Angst, and it seems like a lot of you are suffering from nostalgia right now after seeing that video made by Stefan. At Marina Neuro says, goosebumps in caps lock. That found footage is amazing. Thank you so much. At Trash Clown says, so nostalgic, so much love, so much happiness. And at Bonjo Vicro says, Teenage Angst always brings so much memories. I love this version, and I love you. Well, we want to hear more of the stories, memories, and anecdotes that these songs are bringing back from you. So if you have anything that you want to say, make sure you tweet us at Placebo World with the hashtag LLLTV. Now, coming up, we have more songs from the band, and this next one is from their album Loud Like Love. This is Exit Wounds. Enjoy.
In the arms of another who doesn't mean anything to you. There's nothing much to discover. Does he shake? Does he shiver as he sidles up to you? Like I did in my time. As you wake, does he smother you in kisses long and true? Does he even think to bother? And at night, undercover, as he's sliding into you, does it set your sweat on fire? Want you so bad I can taste that. But you're nowhere to be found. And I'll take a drug to replace that. Put me in the ground. In the arms of another who doesn't mean anything to you. Do you lose yourself and wonder? If I could, I would hover while he's making love to you. Make it rain drug to replace that. Put me in the ground. Want you so bad I can taste that. But you're nowhere to be found. And I'll take a drug to replace that. Put me in the ground. 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 To me, you're more than a human. You are more complex. You're like a fallen angel who uses God as a hackers. Can you feel it yet? In the back of your legs, and underneath of your neck. Your touch, I cannot regret. I love the shape of your mouth and the back of your head. You are so mankind, erotic and divine. I gotta testify. Fire purified.
Welcome to Loud Like Love TV, streaming live across the globe on YouTube. Steph, you and I were having a chat earlier on today about this album, and you said something I thought very poignant and very significant to me about this album.
It's hard to describe an album, but the way that I feel about this record is it's the record that Placebo always should have and wanted to make.
And can I just say, as a music lover, it's an album I'm absolutely loving listening to. Now, guys, I hope you've had your eyes peeled, which actually is quite a horrible idea to peel them. But I hope you've had them peeled for those competition clues. And just so that you know, because we've had 1 or 2 tweets in from Dan the man, I repeat, I am not the clue for Nancy Boy. I mean, where do you guys get this from? Now, it's time for us to visit our friends live in the YouTube space in Los Angeles, where they are celebrating the launch of this amazing album in some style. Shira! Hi, Shira.
Hardeep, how are you? So great to see you. You look like you guys are having a blast.
We are having more than a blast. We're having the entire rocket, sister. You get me now? Boom.
I'm feeling it. I'm definitely feeling it. Well, I want to welcome all our viewers from around the world to YouTube Space LA. That's right. Not only is this a celebration of Placebo's 7th studio album, it is also Mexican Independence Day, and we are doing it in style. We have a huge surprise for everyone watching right now, but before we get to that, we also have some fans and a special guest to ask some questions. Joseph, who's actually a photographer for your past few albums.
Hi guys, how are you?
How's it going? So tell me about what it's been like to work with Placebo the past 5 years or so.
Sure. It's been about 6 years that I've been working with the guys, and they gave me my first break in music photography, so I owe a lot to them. But this last album, Publicity Shots, was done here in Los Angeles at a studio, and then we went to the desert. But yeah, it's been an unbelievable process with them.
Yeah, what's it like working with them?
It usually starts with the band sending me some ideas. They kind of talk about, like, you know, with this album artwork, it was, you know, really bright and a little bit different than we normally worked with. And but it was a lot of fun kind of coming up with more vibrant colors and, you know, landscapes that are a little bit more distressed and interesting.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for being here. A special message for the boys right now?
Miss you guys. I'll see you guys in a month.
There you go. And we also have a fan, Hector. Yeah. They're feeling it. They were feeling that. Hector has a question for all of you today.
My question to you guys is, how was making Loud Like Love different from your previous albums?
Yeah, very good question. I mean, we didn't really sort of make it that easy on ourselves. We wrote, recorded, and mixed the first half of the album in 2012, and then we went back to the drawing board and wrote, recorded, and mixed the second half in 2013. And it's kind of sequenced that way, so it's like almost a side A and a side B of a vinyl. But so it set such a benchmark of kind of that we felt we had to sort of reach or surpass. So it was quite difficult at times, but you know, making art shouldn't be easy, and you know, this should be an element of struggle. So we're very pleased with the results. Thank you, Hector.
Thanks.
Thank you, Hector.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And all the fans out there, remember hashtag LLLTV. Keep the conversation going. This is a worldwide event. And now I know the band has a special surprise. You want to introduce that surprise for everyone watching, you guys?
Stefan.
Yeah, we're very excited to introduce to you Mariachi Malibu, and I believe they're going to do a version of Loud Like Love. Can't wait.
Woo!
Love on an atom, love on a cloud. To see the birth of all that isn't now. Can you imagine a love that is so proud? It never has to question why or how. Somos la fuerza del amor. Somos la fuerza.
Woo! Mariachi Malibu, everyone! That was incredible, wasn't it? Nacho, thank you so much. And what was it like, you guys, to see a mariachi version of Loud Like Love?
That was amazing.
Muchas gracias,
Yeah.
muchachos y muchachas. Versión muy chula.
Amazing. Well, we were all dancing in the studio.
I know, it was dancing.
We hope all of you around the world enjoy Mexican Independence Day and, of course, enjoy this incredible live stream. We are out from YouTube Space LA. Back to you guys in London. Enjoy. Woo!
Thank
Celebration
you,
everybody.
Shira and Mariachi Malibu. Have an enchilada on us. You were definitely loud like love.
Too many friends, too many people that I'll never meet and I'll never be there for. I'll never be there for.
Well, that mariachi thing was probably the best thing that I've ever seen in my entire life, and it seems to have emotionally touched everybody watching the YouTube stream as well. But we have a couple of reactions here to the performance of Exit Wounds. At Mango MUC says, Exit Wounds is one of the best on this incredible album. I have shivers and chills, with 4 exclamation marks, love from Munich. And Gabriella CL93 says, I look like a seal, I can't stop clapping, these songs are amazing. Well, there we go. But now it is time to see who has won tonight's competition.
Thank you, Dan. You are indeed the man. The time has arrived. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. No, Steve isn't going to get naked, but we have been sprinkling little clues, talking of Steve naked, to Placebo songs throughout tonight's show. It's been tough, but as Brian said, if it was easy, it wouldn't be art. Now, if you're sat there thinking, I didn't see any clues, let me remind you. What was this? It was an aardvark. This was a clue that featured in Placebo IQ game, and it actually is an aardvark. Did you spot it? Did you spot me? Another clue is this. At the top of the show, it's a frame, and it represents the title of the track, Picture Frame. And another, of course, is plasticine, which Dan, the man, had stuck in his pocket during the Placebo social wall. Did you get those? Well, there were 7 others dotted throughout the show, and if you got 5 right, you're in for a chance of winning the guest list place for you plus a friend for the entire album campaign, or you could win this, Mr. Brian's guitar. Amazing. Now, Ben, can I ask you to hand the answers, the winners, to Mr. Steve and Mr. Steph? Steve, you've got the winner of the...
I have the winner of the guest list.
And who is that?
And the winner is Emma Barrow from Leeds, UK.
Okay.
So good for you.
Well done, Emma Barrow Leeds.
Well done, Emma Barr in Leeds. And Stefan, you have the winner of the
guitar.
The guitar.
Yes, it's Moritz Gerbaulet from Braunschweig in Germany.
Gesundheit, our German friends. You going to sign that? Is it signed
It's already done. Look.
Look at that, signed with your own name. Congratulations to you both. Now, this band have always had a very strong visual aesthetic. However, with this album, they took a new approach. And this is what happened when Brian went to talk to the creators of the artwork for Loud Like Love.
Okay, welcome to the London studios and offices of the Intro Partnership, which is a design company that specializes in art direction and production. And joining me today is Julian House, one of Intro's creative directors. Hi, Julian.
Hello.
Thanks for taking the time to speak to us. You've worked mostly in the field of music, working with bands and with record companies, megastars like Elton John and the Rolling Stones. But you've also worked with some lesser mortals, you know, like Oasis or Prodigy, Primal Scream, and recently Placebo.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of started when I came in here with some of the management and saying that I wanted something different for the band this time, and that we wanted to make a clean break from our very well-established aesthetic that, you know, I kind of felt that we'd taken it as far as we could. We've got some mood boards here which we can use.
A lot of the initial ideas will come from just sourcing imagery that I like and seems to sort of reflect what I think is the mood implied by the title of the album. It's almost like a moment from a film. It might be a still from a film, and you don't know what the film is. You try to fill in the story around it. But it's kind of a science fiction thing. It's an explosion or an arrival, an event happening.
This one was my favorite when you initially sent it to us. This is the this was the board that got me really, really excited with the double exposure and the sort of broken TV aspect of it.
And there's a lot of these strange sort of tumblers that I always end up trawling, where people have just got really weird films on VHS and they're just grabbing random frames, and they almost take on their own kind of narrative. You don't know what the films were. Predominantly they are created digitally using Photoshop, using layers, but a lot of the imagery that goes into that might be re-photographed off the screen.
Can I grab my favorite here, which is really evocative for me of like a different time and a different planet, but there's a timelessness to it as well.
One of the other influences was like French comic books and people like Moebius, and the way that they're all sort of strange, like you say, other planets, but you get the sense that the reference for the costumes is always coming from places he's travelled to. And there was that idea of the beginning of Close Encounters when there's just this montage of different locations around the world where something inexplicable's happened.
And while you were working on this in London, we took ourselves off to LA and hooked up with our friend and photographer Joseph Lanes out there, went to the desert and did some studio shots as well. This is actually quite a famous place.
Is it Zabriskie Point?
Yeah, and original Star Trek series.
Oh, right.
And I think some of Planet of the Apes as well at times was filmed there.
It kind of ties it all up in that 70s sci-fi TV series or something you're not quite sure about. It being a real place and being a kind of fictional place as well.
It's the otherworldly and the familiar, the paradox that I really, really like, and that sort of seems to run throughout.
Yeah.
Including the way that, you know, you've chosen to represent humans in there, you know?
Imagery I was finding of mannequins, and I think that was the human presence. I didn't want them to look like they're just mannequins, but it's something strange. There was a sequence in my head which was that moment in Man Who Fell to Earth where he dreams of his home planet, and there's that strange slow-mo sequence where they're kind of floating around with all the moisture and water around them. And that sort of thing where he's kind of otherworldly and he suddenly becomes alien, but he's still sort of human.
And for a sci-fi fan like me, it's just, you know, Christmas come early, you know? Thank you so much, Julian. Thank you. And if any of you are interested in checking out some more of his work, you can find it at intro-uk.com. Peace.
Now, there is an extended version of that interview on the Placebo YouTube channel, which you can tune into after the show, so make sure you do. Now, it's time for something we're all very, very excited about. We are going to have a drum battle. But this is no ordinary drum battle. This is a drum battle with 3 unique components. 1, 2, 3, count them. Unique component 1 is the drummer here, Mr. Steve. Say hello, Steve.
Hello, Steve.
Will be challenging a drummer on the other side of the world. Unique point 2 is that this Steve here will be challenging a beatboxer in Tokyo. And unique point 3, this competition will be judged by no mere mortal, no, Dr. Alan, Steve's drum technician here. Say hello, Alan.
Hello, Alan.
Now, Alan, what are you looking for? Because you are Mr. Drum. What are you looking for in this? Points of difference between Stevie Boy and Daichi in Tokyo?
Skill, precision, effort.
Skill.
Eagerness.
Precision, effort. Facial hair?
Not necessary, no.
Not necessary.
We have that covered.
Okay, we have that more than covered. Okay, thank you, Dr. Allen. Steve, can I ask you to take your position behind the drums? Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Steve the Forest. Okay, let's do this. Let's link up with Tokyo. Yuriko, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello, London. I am here with Daichi, along with many Japanese dedicated Placebo fans. Yay! We're all excited to be a part of
please show us what you've
Love
got.
TV today. Thank you, and Daichi here. Daichi.
Show us what you've got.
My name is Dutch. Are you ready, Steve?
Struggling to hear. Whoa, that is absolutely amazing, Mr. Daichi, in the land of the rising sun. But that is just starters. Steve, you and I are both drummers. You and I are both friends.
Yeah.
But you got the job in Placebo. Are you feeling confident?
Yes.
You will go on my first whistle, and Daichi will go on my second. So, I suggest, Alan, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Alan is ready. We're all ready. Steve, 4 bars, starting. Wait for it. Now!
Okay.
Go, Mr. Daichi. Steve, another 4 bars, my friend.
Oh, another 4 bars, all right. Okay.
Daichi, what you got? Bring it, bruv.
You're gonna love
Whoa. Well, Dr. Drums, we're halfway through. Seems close. Seems close.
Yep.
You got a lot on your mind, Dong?
Okay.
Keep that. Save it, brother. Save it. Right. Let's flip things around a bit now. Why don't Daichi, you show us what you can do in 4 bars. Go, my Japanese friend. Run like the wind. I won't tell you what Steve said. Respond. Whoa. Right, Mr. Daichi, your last chance. Give your all. Right, Mr. Daichi, your last chance. Give your all. Couldn't hear that. Just do something, mate. Doesn't matter. Okay, here's where we sort the men out from the beast. Mr. Daichi, 10 seconds freestyle.
See, at once.
Okay, well done, Mr. Daichi. Steve. Now, Dr. Drums, bearing in mind, you've never met Daichi, you're unlikely to, and you're never going to have to work with him. You're about to go on a world tour with Steve, who is your mate. Who is one?
Have to give it to my guy, Steve.
Fair enough. Mr. Steve Forrest, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Daichi. Thank you very much, Tokyo. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Now, if, like me, you want to watch Steve and the rest of the band do what they do on tour, watch this.
I'll never be there for, 'cause I'll never be there. Too many friends, too many people, but I'll never meet love. We are loud like love. We are loud like love.
Right, this has been an amazing night, so thank you so much to everybody watching who has been leaving your comments on Twitter, on Facebook, on Google+, and commenting on the stream. There have been far too many messages to ever read out in 90 minutes, but we really do appreciate the love, so here are some final ones for you now. At MeanBeanKatie says, it's 7 a.m. in New Zealand, but it was totally worth being up so early for Placebo. You guys rule. At Lafiel Sandria said, I fell in love with your music almost 9 years ago. I've been a happy fan ever since. Thank you. And at Miss Google says, every track is perfect and discovering the full album live for the first time is pure magic. Well, there we go. Next, we'll be finding out which track you voted online this week to be Placebo's encore tonight. But before that, here they are with their last track tonight from Loud Like Love. This is Begin the End.
Look me in the eye, say that again. chest and let me in. Give me mouth to mouth and make amends. Knock me off my feet like heroin. No need to disguise or to pretend. Don't misconstrue and don't misapprehend. There's nothing left, no fortress to defend. And tonight's the night that we begin the and you and I kept looking to transcend the fact that I was breaking to your bend. This is now, and sadly that was then. Tonight's the night that we begin the and I tried, God knows that I tried, but there's nothing you can do to change my mind. And I tried, God knows that I tried, but there's nothing you can do to change my mind. And I don't enjoy to watch you crumble. Don't enjoy to watch you cry. But make no mistake, say that again.
Whoa! That, gentleman, was something like a phenomenon. Come over here so I can look you in the eye and say that again. How was it? A year in planning, 90 minutes in execution?
I can't quite believe it.
I
Ask me
can't-
later.
Well, I can't quite believe I've been adopted as the 4th member of Placebo. Guys,
We
I
need
can't.
a tambourine player.
Well, I'm here, and I'm loud and I'm proud, and I'm like loud like Love TV. Listen, get ready for the last track. It's been slightly more than mind-blowing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hardeep.
Thank you to everyone that took part in tonight's show, and for all of you at home watching around the globe, even the people in Sweden. Thank you too for all the amazing messages you've been sending in online. Seems you've enjoyed watching the show nearly as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. That's almost your fill of Placebo for now. But get following the band on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to keep up with Placebo's latest touring news. Now, you, the fans, have spent all week telling us which track you wanted the band to play tonight's show out with. The votes are in, and now we can reveal the winner. Mr. Steve? And the winner was Special K. Good choice. So, for the last time, here are the stars of any show with Special K, the amazing Placebo.
Coming up beyond belief on this coronary theme. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-da-da-dum. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-da-da-dum. More than just a leitmotif, more chaotic now relief. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-da-da-dum. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-da-da-dum. I'll describe the way I feel, weeping wounds that never heal. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-da-da-dum. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-da-da-dum. Can the savior be for real, or are you just my seventh seal? Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-da-da-dum. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-da-da-dum. Now hesitation, now delay. You come on, just like Special K. Like I swallowed half my stash. I never ever wanna crash. Now hesitation, now delay. You come on, just like Special K. Now you're back, you dope demand. Come on, sinking sand. Gravity, now escaping. Gravity, gravity, now escaping. Not for free, I fall down. Hit the ground. Make a heavy sound. Every time you seem to come around, I'll describe the way I feel. You're my new Achilles heel. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-da-da-dum. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-da-da-dum. Can the savior be for real, or are you just my seventh seal? Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-da-da-dum. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-da-da-dum. Now hesitation, now delay. Come on, just like Special K. Like I swallowed half my stash. I never ever wanna crash. Now hesitation, now delay. Come on, just like Special K. Now you're back, dope demand. I'm on sinking sand. Gravity, now escaping. Gravity, gravity, now escaping. Not for free, I fall down. Hit the ground. Make a heavy sound. Every time you seem to come around. Now escaping gravity. Now escaping gravity. Now escaping gravity. Now escaping gravity. 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 floor.